Paisley is a fabric pattern that looks like water droplets, developed from old fabric patterns in Kashmir and Persia. The original pattern is called Boteh in Persian, meaning bush, bunch, or clump of leaves. Boteh is a pattern found in Aryan civilization in many areas and is not limited to patterns on fabrics only. This water drop pattern can be found on temple pillars, bronze vessels, glass, pottery, jewelry, etc. There are many sources of origin of Boteh pattern. Some say it dates back to ancient Babylon, around 1700 BC, while others say it originated in Persia during the rule of the Sasanian Empire, around 200 to 650 AD or before the era of Islam. An important example that shows traces of Boteh pattern on fabrics in the early period is an ancient fabric found in Akhmim, Egypt. This antique is estimated to be from the 6th to 8th century, during which time this region was under the rule of the Sasanian Empire. It is assumed that this fabric was imported via the Silk Road trade route from Central Asia. However, archaeological evidence and analysis by many experts agree that the Boteh pattern originated in Persia, Iran. This is because the Boteh pattern is associated with the cypress, Sarvia barku, which is the tree of life and eternity of Zoroastrianism in Persian culture. In addition, the Boteh pattern is sometimes called the flame of Zoroastrianism. The Boteh pattern is often used on fabrics, carpets, shawls, and textiles, etc. It is found from the Caucasus Mountains in Azerbaijan, continuing to Persia and Iran, Central Asia, and to Kashmir in northern India. However, in the land of Kashmir, around the 15th to 16th centuries, hand weaving and the Boteh pattern were actively developed, leading to the production of the famous shawls here. However, the early shawls did not look like the current Paisley patterns, but were curved flowers with leaves and stems. The Boteh pattern on fabrics, especially shawls, was well known and popular among Europeans and was transmitted through Kashmir. In the first half of the 17th century, after the British had spread their influence in India and Central Asia, the British East India Company imported Boteh shawls and other shawls made in Kashmir to Europe. As exotic products with unique beauty, Kashmir shawls became popular throughout Europe. Soon, when demand outpaced production capacity from distant lands, European weavers in France, England, and the Netherlands began to produce Boteh shawls themselves. However, European hand-weaving technology was less sophisticated than the traditional hand-weaving techniques in Kashmir and Persia. The imitation European woven fabrics were limited to only 2 colors, making them incomparable in beauty to the originals. Although Kashmir woven fabrics were more expensive, their beauty and superior quality continued to be very popular. However, in the early 19th century, weavers in Paisley, not far from Glasgow in Scotland, developed more sophisticated and delicate weaving techniques. This allowed the weavers to weave up to 5 colors. This gave the weavers of Paisley a competitive advantage over weavers elsewhere. Paisley imitations sold for £12, while traditional Kashmir shawls sold for £70 to £100, making the shawls popular throughout England. The name Paisley became well known and eclipsed the meaning of the Boteh pattern as Paisley. When the demand for Paisley shawls reached its peak, the weavers of the town became highly paid workers. The high wages attracted a large number of workers. At one point, the number of skilled weavers in Paisley reached 6,000. The weaving industry flourished, but unfortunately, this prosperity did not last long. The weaving industry improved, leading to the printing of patterns on the fabric, which greatly reduced production costs. In addition, mechanization severely affected hand weavers. These imitations became widely available on the market. Since they were so cheap and available, the Paisley shawl fell out of favor. By the 1860s, most of the weavers, including those in Paisley, were becoming poor. Many immigrated to Canada and Australia. Although by 1860, weavers in Paisley could produce up to 15 colors of shawls, that number was only a quarter of the colors on some cashmere shawls. The Paisley pattern was revived in the 1960s by the Beatles, whose band members were very fond of the pattern, and John Lennon, who decorated his Rolls-Royce with Paisley patterns, causing the pattern to become popular again, especially in the fashion industry. Many famous brands have adapted this pattern and used it widely. Today, the Paisley pattern is still popular. Although it has declined in popularity in some periods, Paisley or Boteh has become an art that will never go out of style. Hundreds of thousands of years are the clearest proof.